Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting edition of Comic Cave Podcast. My name is Chris, along with my hetero life mate, Mr.
Russ.
And we found him and he's back.
Again.
He's back again. He was in there. He was on the island of Themyscira with his little Peter Parker photo shoots, trying to get some shit.
I hate Peter Parker.
Damn.
But on today's episode, we will be discussing the DCEU coming to an end. But is it though? Coming up next on Comic Cave Podcast. Alright, and we're back, and Comic Cave Podcast, like I said, the discussion is the DCEU is coming to an end as we know it. Sorry, the Zack Snyder's DCEU is coming to an end. But what is coming next in the DCEU, or the DC movies in general? Because I've heard a lot of rumors, I don't know if you guys have heard these rumors, but there's not going to be any more Batman. Ben Affleck's character is going to be cut off, or killed off, rather.
He's
or
got
not killed off,
He's
but
got
just
one more appearance, from my understanding.
the Flash movie. It's all going to end in the Flash movie.
Okay.
So there's going to be no more Batman. There's not going to be no more Superman. Henry Cavill says, I want to suit up, but DC's like, or Warner Brothers like, we don't want you. Not yet.
The Rock was still trying to get him, back
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
And so now, as we see it, from what I read, and I don't know if these are spoilers or these are rumors, take it with a grain of salt, but the new Trinity, as we know it, will be Batgirl, because there is an image of Batgirl out there, which I think was pretty good. I mean, she's wearing her comic accurate suit, the purple with the black, with the yellow on it. Comic accurate. It looks a little bit CW-ish, but it's fine.
Isn't that the one that they all hated though when she first debuted in her new run?
That's when I stopped. I got out of the comic game then. And then we have Supergirl, which is played by the Latina actress. I can't remember her name right now, but and then we have a Wonder Woman. So the Trinity, as we know it, the Holy Trinity is ran by women. And so we also have Shazam, Flash, Aquaman, and I think I'm missing maybe Martian Manhunter's coming back. I'm not sure. We don't know yet because the Flash movie has.
It's going to end up being Miss Martian.
Miss Martian, and so as we're filming this, it's January of 2022. Happy New Year, guys! Happy New Year! Our first video for the new year. But the Zack Snyder's DCEU is ending.
You also forgot to mention what else we were doing.
What? Oh yes. So today we are trying the KFC. This is not a sponsor. It's not sponsored at all. But I was curious because I'm like, the Beyond Fried Chicken. I want to try some of that because I'm curious. My palate is curious.
So basically, we're going to review the Snyderverse.
Oh, eating KFC chicken.
Review the KFC.
We're going to eat a little bit of KFC fried Beyond Chicken.
Beyond Chicken. The Beyond Verse and the Beyond... No, it's not the Beyond Verse.
The Beyond Verse.
We should review the Beyond Verse, though. That'd be cool.
So we're going to try... Well, first, let's get into the subject. So the Zack Snyder's Justice League... Or the DCEU is coming to an end. There's not going to be any more Zack Snyder films. And also, I think... Wonder Woman and The Flash are the only... And Aquaman?
Well, my kind of question on it is... Because I haven't read... Yes, I've read some of that's kind of ending, but like, is Zack Snyder just completely done?
Yeah, they're done. That's it.
So
that was it.
But I'm saying, like, is he the one that was like, I'm done with this, or was it like a mutual thing? Or
WB was just like, nah, we're
going a different route.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because they gave us Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I want to ask you guys.
Only because people
it was
bitched about it for so long.
But it was good though, and I want to ask you guys, what Justice League is canon? Do you guys think the Justice League is canon, or the Zack Snyder's Justice League is canon?
I think the Justice League Snyderverse is canon to the Snyderverse. I think
the Justice
is going to
League
be
is not...
End of the Flash and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think it really matters, to be honest.
I think they just gave him the final goodbye. Like, you started it, you wrapped it up.
Yeah,
It looks like a chicken McNugget.
3, 2, 1.
I mean, I'll say it's got the consistency of chicken.
That's very dry. That's like Raising Cane's dry. I don't know. Russell?
We can come back to our thoughts on this at the end of the night, but so far, not as bad as I thought. I'll give it that.
So...
But, the Snyderverse, not as bad as I thought.
The Snyderverse, yeah. Also, the
A little
Snyderverse.
dry. Not as bad as I thought.
Also, the Zack Snyder's DCEU is coming to an end, and the Snyderverse wasn't really that bad. The DCEU.
My thoughts on it. If you take the original cuts of stuff, yes, I think it wasn't good. I think what made a lot of specifically Snyder's movies better, the Superman, well, no, but Batman v Superman and Justice League was his cut coming out. And that doesn't mean, like, those are good films. Having the extended play, it gave it more context, and those are really good. However, the original cuts and then by themselves do not stand alone. So for that alone, no, like they weren't very good. The extended cuts are great, but the original vision of it was not.
So let's break it down by movies.
Well, I would like to say,
Okay.
I like Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. I will say the extended cut for Batman vs Superman did help it a little bit more.
A little bit.
Because I got where he was going with the original, except the one biggie, how is Lex going to control Doomsday? But I guess he was so wrapped up in his hatred.
Even in the extended, I hate Jesse Eisenberg's casting for Lex.
I liked it. It reminded me of... No, hear me out.
I'm
it
gonna hear you
reminded me
out.
of the Lex Luthor that stole the pies. Where he's not old. This is a canon story.
I'm not familiar with this.
It's when Lex is young, he goes to high school, and he steals a tray of pies. It's as soon as he loses the flowy hair.
Yeah.
It's a canon feat. That was his
So
first.
he became all like twitchy and
This is the period where he's not the Lex that we know when
Yeah,
he's
this
an adult.
is his son.
No, it's actual Lex. Because
yeah, who what?
I thought it's Alexander Luthor.
it's regular Luthor, because this when he loses the hair, and they say his first act of villainy is stealing the tray of pies after Superman messes up his lab and gets his hair to be destroyed.
No. I'm talking about the Zack Snyder's.
I thought that was still
I
Lex.
thought
I thought that was regular Lex.
Who the heck said
Yeah,
this?
no, I've heard rumors. You for real? I've heard rumors that so Zack Snyder's Lex
This
Luthor.
is another reason why it's actually not really good. You got too much confusion.
Well, no, I've heard that it's the son of Lex Luthor. That's why he says the name on the building is my father's. I am the. Or he says some shit. I haven't been. It's been a while. But it's believed that it's the son, his son, Alexander.
That's
Luthor.
just weird. Why make it the son?
It's not the actual Lex Luthor.
But
That's what
they
I've heard.
have him do the exact same thing that the real Lex, the shaving the head,
I thought they
creating
just
the
did that for
League
the
of,
Arkham
is
Bellery
it the League
thing.
of Villains, or there's two names of it. The Legion of Doom.
Yeah,
was
that just doesn't make sense for it to be his son. I mean, I'm not saying
That's what I
no,
heard.
but that just why? Like, what's the point of that?
Because
But-
people were really pissed the fuck off that it was.
Oh, so it was an afterthought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's stupid.
I think it's just fans just coming up with theories why their Lex isn't the Lex that we got.
I think that's why that rumor started, because it's not the Lex that they wanted. It's not the what's his
I
name?
don't
Jesse
like
Eisenbaum.
how-
What's his name?
Eisenberg. Yeah, I don't like. I love him as an actor, but like
No, Smallville Lex.
Smallville Lex.
It wasn't that Lex, so that's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's Lex Luthor's son, Alexander Luthor.
Smallville Lex was a Rosenbaum. Michael
Yeah.
Rosenbaum. That's my definitive live action Lex. I can love him as Lex.
But do you think it's because they had more time to build? Like, you know how some
They did have time to
Yeah.
build him up, but like, there's a scene where he puts the kryptonite on Clark's chest in the barn. He's got the gun to him, and like just that whole rant and like how he went off on that. That was like prime Lex to me. Like he just so embodied that character. But this isn't about that. Yeah, I just don't like the Jesse Eisenberg's. I don't like the whole twitchy, the losing his thought process. Like Lex is a very composed badass.
But
like
that's what I'm saying, because we get the period of early Lex, but we'll never know because the Snyderverse is gone. Does he become that Lex when he creates the Legion of Doom? Because he just seems like the Big Bang Theory. This is how you think smart people really react in a real world.
fair, but if I don't want to just compare to
Yeah.
Smallville, because Smallville had its own issues in a whole other area. But I get what you're saying by building on that character. So if we're looking at Rosenbaum's character, yeah, he had more time to build, but at the start of his character, I wasn't just turned off of him being Lex. He still had some suave to him. He still had some characters where I could see, okay, this is going to turn into the Lex that I know. With Jesse, it was just his twitchiness and like his mind just like wasn't there. He would go off on these tangents and like lose his train of thought. Like, I get the concept of it's supposed to be like he's a mad scientist and just super brilliant. I understand what they were trying to do, but that doesn't work for me. He's not just a mad scientist. He's a brilliant businessman. He's a well-composed dude's big and bulky. Like, I haven't ever seen just a little twitchy version before, and it just doesn't work for me.
Well, I think that's the issue, that we're getting a new rendition. That's what I'm saying. Like, because Snyderverse is gone, we will never see if he does become the suave Lex Luthor. Because, you know, he's small.
I just don't
because
see it happening, though. Because
I think one of the issues, and I will say this, we never understand what is his age range in the film.
Right.
Like, is he a teenager? Is he early 20s?
Yeah, I think he's like mid-20s, maybe
early 30s.
Yeah, because normally Lex and Superman are around the same age. 'Cause, you know, if you watch the animated series, you're like, yeah, Lex isn't a small dude by any standard. But I guess Snyder never says, oh, this is a Lex who is 20 becoming the well, we know he's become the Masked Man, but sorry, you'll just never see it.
So Russell says that the DC, and also you, Torn, what do you think about the DCU? Was it really that bad?
I wouldn't say it was bad. I just think that they're in an uphill battle because they're not trying to do the comedy, and DC's never really been comedy. Or when we get comedy, we get campy.
That was the other issue, is them trying to mimic too much of what Marvel was doing. And as far as, that's why Joss Whedon's cut came out the way it did with the colors and stuff.
Well, hold on. Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there, because whenever DC did do what Marvel did, they made bank. Now, my rebuttal to you was like, was the DCEU that bad? I'm going to use a little bit of...
We're going on opinion based, though, because I still hate that version.
Well, hold on, because I'm going to use a little bit of wrestling tactics.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad. It got asses in the seats. Aquaman was the first movie
to me, it was
make
still bad.
$1 million. Also, Shazam made a shit ton of money. Was it $1 billion, or Aquaman was like $1 billion, right?
Well, I mean, because they're trying to follow a formula that I think.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but are we counting those as part of the Snyderverse?
Yeah, that's
canon.
yeah.
So that's canon. Okay, to that. Okay.
Shazam. I mean, they reference in Shazam alone. They reference every single.
The only one that's not in the Snyderverse is, ironically, the best one, Joker. Because they say that's its own.
That's its own thing.
And I think the new Batman is its own universe as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they don't touch that because of what's going on.
They're going to. It's getting its own TV show.
Yeah.
Not him, but Gordon's getting his TV show from that.
And Tim Drake's supposed to be in that one as well.
Well, that's Tim Drake from Titans. That's a whole other bag of beans.
Wait, isn't that the Tim Drake also in the Batman?
So does that mean that they're tying?
But it's not Tim. He's not Tim Drake in the Batman. He's just a random back character. Yeah.
Okay.
What I was gonna say, yeah, no, thank God, please. From what I've read about the DC, where they're going, I hope they don't touch Pattinson's Batman. I think they should just leave that alone, because they're gonna.
Well, let's wait and see on that. Let's come back to the DCEU.
Okay, so the DCEU. Well, like it all ties in, but yeah, can you say the DCEU was bad even though it made bank? Suicide Squad was critically not good, but it made a lot of money.
See, when we were going into this conversation, I thought we were talking about Snyder's film specifically.
This is Snyder's DCEU. Like this,
he started it and it branched out.
Okay.
And that's what I was talking about. This is Snyder's DCEU.
Well, I kind of get what Russ was saying, because we're saying like those movies did well, but he's not the director.
Yeah, he's not.
I figured you said, yeah, I get that. But he's like the man that he's like the Kevin Feige. He helmed the boat. And there are other people doing Kevin Feige's bidding, but at the end of the day, he helmed the boat, and he worked with Patty Jenkins on Wonder Woman. That's why Wonder Woman looks the way it did. And then '84 took a different turn because he was like out then.
See, that's what I'm saying. So DCU, yeah, Marvel's had some misses as well. It hasn't been like all wins. Go watch our last video on Spider-Man. Yeah, Marvel's had some misses as well, but. What's the ratio then? How many of this original run of the DCU did well?
Aquaman?
Objectively. Aquaman, Shazam, Wonder Woman, the first one.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad did good.
The new Suicide Squad.
No, the old one. The old one, it wasn't critically liked, but it made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, okay, well then that's a whole different thing. Are we saying that making money makes it good?
That's wrestling
Because
tactics right there.
that's a different conversation.
Well,
Just because it made money doesn't mean it's good.
Well, that becomes a tough conversation.
Because no, if we're talking about ratings on them, that's low rated, so it's not good.
But that's when it becomes a tough situation because it's kind of like what someone said. It's a fun adventure. So what could be fun to some people might not be fun to other people because they could be looking at a deeper meaning of it.
That's what I'm saying. How are we grading this objectively? Because if we're saying making money makes it good, then that's a whole different story.
That means Transformers are great films.
Right. I disagree with that. I would say that we would need to base it off the premises of how did not critics, but how did the general public take it? And the general public did not take it.
They're the ones who gave it the money.
Doesn't mean that they liked it. People showed up to go to the movies because Suicide Squad, great. They might have marketed it well at first, but once they saw the movie, did they like the movie? No.
It topped at number one for a while. I remember that because I thought that same thing.
It's selling doesn't mean that people actually like it.
Even that becomes tough because you can say some people don't write reviews on films.
I mean, I would be going off. Let's look at these Rotten Tomato reviews. Hold up now, because I feel like we're going back and forth on like.
No, because I get what you're saying, but it's just like how sometimes how we can talk about something, right? But we'll never write about it. So some people will write about it if they have the free time or if they actually get paid to do it to be like, oh, it's good. But I guess at the end of the day, it kind of depends on your personal taste. Like, because Oscar-nominated movies, they don't make bank, but those are great,
critically
films.
acclaimed,
So
right?
It's a tough situation.
I don't think that it's fair to personally. All right, let's just put it this way. I myself am not saying that the movie's good just because it made money. I'm saying if I liked it, if it made sense in the grand scheme of things. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam were good films. Honestly, arguably, I did not like those films as much as a lot of other people, but they weren't bad to me.
So, to you, in your opinion, what is the best Snyderverse or Snyder DCEU movie? Including the.
Are we doing extended cuts within that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then Justice League extended cut, Snyder cut.
Snyder cut or Justice League. That's your best. That's your favorite. Just DCEU. Zack Snyder's DCEU.
That or possibly Shazam. Shazam would be up there for me. Which is odd for me because I'm not normally one into like the super comedic shit, and I do feel like they overdid it on the comedy.
So you're contradicting yourself because you like Shazam, and Shazam was kind of following that Marvel formula.
True. I'm not even gonna deny it. True.
That's the first time I fucking made him fall on his face. Hell yeah.
No, I'm not falling on my face. I'm just
whatever. I won that one. But yeah, so Torn. Okay, what was your favorite Zack Snyder's DCEU film? It was Man of Steel. Get out of here with that.
Well, thank you for spoiling it. Man of Steel, and I actually do like Batman vs Superman.
Okay.
I love
extended or
the extended because I love the dialogue. Because some of my friends were like, I don't understand why was Lex being Lex. No, it makes sense because it's a philosophical debate about Superman, and I love what they do with Superman, where they really make him Jesus Christ or Moses because he is supposed to be Moses, and we get that
Hercules. Superman,
we do worship Superman, and Lex is kind of like, what does happen if he goes batshit crazy? And I love the whole, angels coming from heaven. It's Lucifer. So I'm like, oh, I love the dynamic of what they're doing. Now, of course, there are some big holes in Lex's logic, but I can say, I guess Lex is. If you ever watch Justice League, where they're like, hey, I'll become the Abomination, but you become what you hated. I see that with Lex, that I don't care as long as we get rid of Superman. Once we get rid of that problem, we can deal with this problem.
Okay.
What's yours?
My favorite DCEU film? Zack Snyder's Justice League.
So then, my question going into this.
Okay, so it's not even a movie. The warehouse scene with Batman beating the living shit out of those guys. That's like the best scene of all time. Pattinson better bring it. But my favorite movie was the Zack Snyder's Justice League cut.
I do have to admit that some of the Batman scenes in Batman v Superman were like epic. What sold me on Ben Affleck as Batman was when they were scared in the cell when we first meet him. They closed that shit. And then when you see him crawl across the rafters, I was like, Batman, that was epic.
Oh wait, no, Justice League. I think I like Justice League. Wait, no.
You do like Justice League.
I like Justice League because of what they did with Superman.
I hated Justice League.
Really?
I really did.
Yes, because the Superman was I believe in justice, and is this guy bothering you? That's Superman. That is Superman to me. Not this fucking like, I don't know, broody fucking guy. I don't know. Henry Cavill, you make a great Superman, but the Justice League, the Justice League, like, I believe in
I didn't
justice.
like the Justice League just mostly because you liked what bugged me the most was the color scheme. You liked that the high contrast and the reds and the overtones and stuff. I hated that.
The only dark fucking film there should be is Batman. Maybe Aquaman.
I don't need it to be dark. I just did not like that red contrast. I did not like the sky being red.
Oh no, I like the bright.
I did not.
The vibrance.
I like the darkness because it's like a depressing moment.
It's not supposed.
Superman shows up. It's supposed to get lighter.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that too. Okay, I'll take that.
My question to what we were saying was the continuity of the DCEU. Do you think that it fits? Do you think it makes sense?
Continuity, what do you mean?
How each film flows into each other, how the mythos all ties together. Does it really flow and connect from Aquaman to Wonder Woman to Batman v Superman to
Thank you for bringing that up, because that was my next point. These movies are good on their own. I do watch Aquaman by
But
itself.
are they good as a collective?
I'm okay as a collective. No, because like Marvel, we had like, hey, here comes Thor, and then here comes Captain America, and here comes so on and so forth. And this one, yes, they acknowledged each other, but it wasn't really like this movie's coming up next, gear up for this movie, which I guess is all right.
They were just kind of all over the place.
I don't know, because I remember when they did the Batman vs Superman, when we saw the little files and stuff that people.
I'm sorry, that's the only time. But at the end of Aquaman, there wasn't like hey, wait, get ready for Shazam, that's coming. And there was no Easter egg at the end of Aquaman for Shazam. There was no Easter egg at the end of Wonder Woman.
But do you need those, hey, what's coming up next?
Well, that's what he asked as a collective. Like, I want them to acknowledge,
Well,
does
I
it
feel
feel
like
cohesive?
Sometimes, like, I can use this for example. Kingdom Hearts 3. Waited 10, 15 years for the game to come out.
Never played it.
I get the game, then it's, we're setting up for part 4. And I actually wanted to enjoy this before you started announcing part 4. So sometimes I think with the DC films, they're so set in exploring the characters that they don't really try to bog it down with too much or take away from what's coming next.
I can respect that.
Yes, I believe that. Because I remember in Iron Man 2, they were like, hey, there's a fucking shit coming, and then in I think Thor 2? Dark World, hey, there's a shit coming. So yeah, I agree with that.
Because I'll say, not to make it about Marvel, the one I do love, and my friend, we're still debating if it's canon, the second Hulk movie.
What's the second Hulk?
The one with what's his name? Abomination is the final villain.
Which is the first Hulk movie of Marvel.
Oh, so you're counting the 2003 one?
That is canon, though.
Oh, so it is. Because I keep telling no, I say it wasn't canon, but I do remember Tony Stark does show up, and I'm like, he shows up, but it doesn't take away from the film. It's just like they're setting up.
People were actually surprised. I saw that movie in the theaters in 2008, it came out in 2008. People were surprised at Tony Stark. Like, that's when the audience was like, oh shit, there's a shared universe.
Yeah.
Even though at the end of Iron Man 1, they was like, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Cool. But then when we saw Tony Stark show up in the Hulk movie, I'm like, what the fuck? The whole theater lost their shit. Those were good times. Fuck. Now they have this woke shit. Anyway, but yeah, so the DCEU. Now, here's my last question to you guys in ending this video. The Zack Snyder's, I need to start saying that, Zack Snyder's DCEU, if it would have continued, where do you think we would have went?
We still would have gotten a Flashpoint story, just because I didn't get to answer the cohesiveness question. It was too sporadic. Not everything. I can respect where they were trying to go by diving into the characters a little bit more in depth and giving them room to breathe without the others. I can respect that. But it just didn't seem thought all the way out. It just seemed like every single movie was like, it was too far removed from everything else. Like, I want a character to be able to grow. I kind of want them to go more that direction. Cora, chill out. Sorry, guys. Dog's knocking at the door. I kind of want them to go more of that route, but like, they still need some type of Kevin Feige at the helm that's still able to say, well, like, you can at least drop in like this little bit of tidbit here, just small little details that make
They
it
did that in
feel
Shazam.
more. That makes it feel more of like a shared universe. Again, Shazam was my favorite out of them though. Shazam felt a little bit more connected to everything else because he did look up to the other characters and stuff. It just seemed like every single movie that came out had its own prerogative and direction. Hence why Wonder Woman 1984 was so different from Wonder Woman the original. It was just it's similar to how like Star Wars with the new trilogy, the sequels, how those every single time a new director came in, they completely changed the direction of what they wanted to do with it. Well, that felt like it was happening across the board.
Well, let me ask
DCEU
you, because we said it earlier with the end of the Snyderverse, with the League of Villains, or I'm sorry, the Legion of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
What if we would have got the villains from the respective movies, like Ocean Master and them to show up? Would you feel like that would have made it more cohesive?
That would have been cool.
I would have been there so fucking cool. Day one.
But I don't even need like characters to show up. Just again, like acknowledging like something just happened in Gotham. Oh, so and so will take it. Batman will take care of it. Titans will take care of it. Whatever the fuck, right?
Well,
like,
I think that's just like an issue in comics. Remember we joked about it. Oh, they're attacking New York
again.
Hey, where's Daredevil?
Where's Daredevil? Right? No, true. But I mean, again, not to toot Marvel's horn on this because I have issues with the Marvel and the Marvel formula as well. But that is something that they do is they just drop little nuggets in, and if that nugget happens to sprout into something else, cool. So it's like when they talk about the earthquake off the coast of like whatever, they're like, oh, it's an earthquake, like, or it's a tsunami. What was it? I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about? They're like, they'll handle it.
In Endgame.
And they're talking, and basically they're saying that it's the Atlanteans and like. Let them handle it.
They mentioned Wakanda in Iron Man 2.
Right. So it's like
they didn't mention it,
just little stuff like that would just make it feel a little bit more tied together. Like, okay, there's a direction that they're going with this. There is an end game plan. It didn't feel like they had any end game plan. They were like, what are we gonna do? I'm saying it didn't feel like that though.
Well, because I know, like, I get
Snyder had an end game, for sure.
Because we saw the, I think it was the Wayne satellite and stuff like that.
But not every other director, not every other movie followed that end game, and that was the issue.
Because the only one I can say I can understand is Wonder Woman, because it's like, Wonder Woman, how are you going to connect these events?
Well, she's a prequel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, was she? Oh, I met Thomas Wayne's grandpa, and it's okay. We see the connection with you and the Waynes, but I get what you're saying, Russ. That it could have did a little better in that aspect.
Yeah, just time.
But do you guys think if it would have went further, do you think we could have gotten like a Green Lantern movie
or the TV show on HBO Max, like they were talking about? Maybe that would have actually tied into it.
They're still doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But maybe it would have tied into it more. Is what I'm saying. But I really liked Snyder's, like when he said what his original plan was. Like it was a brilliant plan.
It was great.
Like if they would have actually followed through on that, and if everybody else would have like been like, yeah, we're down for this, and like held on to it.
No, I take that back. It wasn't great. They were gonna fucking Injustice Superman. The hell with that guy.
It was great. So, and then like at the end of his movie is probably when Flashpoint would have kicked on to like reboot everything, right? That's probably what would have happened. And I just, if they would have stayed on that path, it would have been good. But no, it's too many heads in the chefs in the kitchen. Like too many people trying to like, oh, I'm going to go this way with this character. I'm going to go this way with this character. And it just didn't overall fit. Now that's not to say that we didn't have some wins in there, but to wrap this up and to come all together with it, DCEU, what we had up until now, it was alright. It was alright. We had some really good movies, but we had some crap too. Let's be real.
It wasn't that bad. I like the DCEU. I think
it was like this chicken, you know. It's a little dry. It's alright.
He likes vegan food.
It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Like vegan food. He'll try more.
No, I won't.
Get him a burger. He'll be like, "Oh man, it's a good burger. It's an Impossible Burger, bro."
It definitely needs some sauce. You know?
It does.
It's like Batman v Superman. You got to add a little something extra to it to make it work. Like
you got to add the extended cook, which is the sauce.
But I will say the one good thing that came from the Snyderverse was the Jokerverse.
What the fuck's a Jokerverse?
You know, the Joker is his own little universe, little pocket universe.
It all happened in his head. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Once again, okay, before wrapping this up, we keep forgetting to mention this. We are doing a giveaway here on Comic Cave Podcast. We are giving away this sweet, awesome Black Adam, not The Rock's Black Adam, but the comic book New 52 Black Adam, and it comes with a cool box too. So you're not just getting the statue, you're getting everything. But please go like us. Up to 100 subscribers on our YouTube. We had a little mishap on our YouTube, so we're trying to get back our numbers back up. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Comic Cave Podcast, and once we hit 100 subscribers, once again, comment down below on this video or any other video. Leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe. And those of you, we have the information. Those of you that have done that, we've seen it. And we will pick, once we hit 100 subscribers, we can pick who wins this awesome Black Adam.
And also follow us on Instagram, and thank you to everybody who followed us. We finally got over 500 subscribers, and we do comic book giveaways on that. So I will be announcing the winner before this even comes out. 2 winners, and they each get 4 books. So go check that out, because we're going to be doing more giveaways of comic books and stuff on there.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Chris, along with my hetero life mate, Mr.
Russ.
And the always corrigible.
Sorry.
Until next time, that's what's up.